Open and shut them, open and shut them, give a little clap, clap, clap. Open and shut them, open and shut them, lay them in your lap, lap, lap. Let them creep up very slowly till they touch your chin, chin, chin. Cover up your little mouth, but do not let them in. Open and shut them, open and shut them, give a little clap, clap, clap. Open and shut them, open and shut them, lay them in your lap, lap, lap. Let them creep up very slowly till they touch your cheeks, cheeks, cheeks. Cover up your little eyes, but do not take a peek. Hello, friends. Today we are learning about a new poet. His name was Robert Louis Stevenson. Let's say that together. Robert Louis Stevenson. One more time. Robert Louis Stevenson. He lived a life of adventure. He was born in Scotland, which is right here on our planet, and here we live in Utah. So he was born a good distance away. His daddy worked as a lighthouse operator, and Robert Louis Stevenson was encouraged to do the same thing as his daddy, but he didn't want to. And when he was born, he was actually a pretty sick child. He did not feel well. And so he didn't attend school very often because he was sick. He had a bad cough, and so he missed a lot of school. So Robert's parents hired a nanny, and she was very special to Robert. She was like a nurse. And she lived with the Stevensons, and she would care for Robert when he couldn't sleep at night, when he would cough too much, so he couldn't sleep. So she was very special to him all his life, and because he had to be in bed so much of the time, he used his imagination for a lot of the poetry that he would later write. I'll read you a poem called The Land of Counterpane. And a counterpane is another word for a quilt that you might put on your bed or a blanket. When I was sick and lay abed, I had 2 pillows at my head, and all my toys beside me lay to keep me happy all the day. And sometimes for an hour or so, I watched my laden soldiers go with different uniforms and drills among the bedclothes through the hills, and sometimes sent my ships of fleets all up and down among the sheets, or brought my trees and houses out and planted cities all about. I was the great giant, and still, that sits upon the pillow hill and sees before him dull and plain the pleasant land of Counterpane. So here he's made a whole imaginary land in his bed sheets. Another one of my favorite poems by Robert Louis Stevenson is called The Swing. How do you like to go up in a swing, up in the air so blue? Oh, I do think it's the pleasantest thing ever a child could do. Up in the air and over the wall, till I can see so wide, rivers and trees and cattle and all, over the countryside. Till I look down on the garden green, down on the roof so brown. Up in the air I go flying again, up in the air and down. When we talked about Emily Dickinson last month, you'll remember that some of you may have made a little book of poetry. And I thought this month you could use this book, or you could use another book that you might have, or just a plain piece of paper. And an idea for poetry, poetry is very descriptive. So an idea to write your own poetry is just to have mommy or daddy, or if you can write words, you could just write the things that you see in the room that you're in right now. So I might write something like a rug. I might write globe. I might write table. And then to describe my rug, my globe, and my table, I need to think of something about it that describes it. So my rug is white. My globe, boy, this is very round. And my table is smooth. So I have a white rug, a round globe, a smooth table. And you can play this game anywhere. You can go outside and look at the trees and think of words that describe the tree, but it's practice for writing poetry. All right, friends, next time I'll read you some more Robert Louis Stevenson poetry and tell you a little bit more about his life. Thank you.